Welcome to Shomach Shova on the Daf. The month of Av is sponsored by the Einhorn family, Leilui Nishvas Rav Naftali Ber Yechezkel. We're holding in Chulin Daf Be'alef. And on Wood Base, the Mishnah brings the Hanoicher ve'hame'aker, meaning someone who kills a behemoth when he's doing the shchita. In that case, you don't have the Isser of Oysa v'Isbnoi, because that considered to be shchita. Now, the Noida B'Yudo in Yoredeo Tanino Siman Yud Base has a fascinating tshuva. The tshuva is dealing with the question, is a Jew allowed to hunt? Brings, if you have a Jew that has a very large property with fields, with forests, and he wants to go and hunt animals for pleasure, is he allowed to do that al pi halacha? And he discusses some potential issues like Tzaar Baalei Chayim, Baal Tashchis, or because of the minhag of Isur Tzaar Baalei Chayim. And he starts by saying, the Me'ikar Hadin, whatever Odom needs, there's no din Tzaar Baalei Chayim. So therefore, going and hunting, there's no din Tzaar Baalei Chayim, because a person, if he's doing it for his own pleasure, for his own need, there's no din Tzaar Baalei Chayim. Whatever is tzoyich Odom is okay. But then the Noida B'Yudo turns around and says, says we don't find, where do we see in the Torah each side a hunter? Find by Nimrod, by Esov. That's not the derech of Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. And that's because we have a din of Racham of Akol Ma'asov. You don't just go kill animals for pleasure. He says maybe someone's going to say, I want to come and get rid of the wild animals. So that's only if it's time of danger, if they come to attack you. But to go to their habitat and go and kill them just for your own pleasure, that's not how a Yid does. Says a problem of achzorius, of cruelty. Then he continues and says that maybe it's even a sakana, because anybody who goes in there you go into the forest to kill animals, you're going into a mok of sakana. So it's a yisur to do that. And he adds, if a person is in that place of sakana, so maskir mavoi naisov. Like someone who goes under a kir noto, a wall is about to fall, they remind him his avoinus. So at the end of the day, the Noida B'Yudo is not happy with going and hunting. But that's mitzad achzorius, it's not the right midah tova. Mitzad midin of Tzaar Baalei Chayim, says the Noida B'Yudo, it's not an issue. Because if a person is killing the animal, so as he's killing it, it's not considered to be Tzaar Baalei Chayim. And he adds, the Baal Tashchis is also no Baal Tashchis, because the person goes and enjoys the skin, the hide of the animal. So there's no Baal Tashchis either. So the yesod of the Noida B'Yudo is that killing an animal is not Tzaar Baalei Chayim. The animal dies, it's not Tzaar Baalei Chayim. It's the midas achzorius to go and do it for no reason. So some argued with the Noida B'Yudo. And the Mishnah Halachas, Chelek Yud Tzivin Pei Beis, brings in the name of the Sefer, Mishkan Moshe, that the Rekiv Eger argues with the Noida B'Yudo as well in our Mishnah. Because in our Mishnah it says that if someone kills an animal, he's put to Mishum Oysa v'Izbnoi. It says Rekiv Eger, Dia ken lo oiris the Mishum Oysa v'Izbnoi hu de potter. Aval mikol makom isur ovad mishum Tzaar Baalei Chayim or mishum nosle Baal Tashchis. So he says killing an animal for no reason is Tzaar Baalei Chayim and is considered to be Baal Tashchis. Not like the Noida B'Yudo that says when you kill an animal, there's no Tzaar Baalei Chayim, and if a person wants to use the skin, the hide, there's no Baal Tashchis. So the Meduyik, the Rekiv Eger, disagrees with the Noida B'Yudo's concept. So Mishnah Halachas wants to say that maybe there's a chiluk between behemois and chayos. Our Mishnah is talking about a behemoth. And by behemoth, he says, the Gemara said earlier, Kol ma'aseh bereishis l'daisom l'tzivyonim nivru, meaning there was, so to speak, a deal that Baruch Hu did with every creature, what's going to happen with him. So the behemoths, their deal was they will have shchita. They will be killed through the ma'aseh shchita. We know ma'aseh shchita is a very big inyan, it's something of taharo, something which elevates the animal. Someone who goes and kills an animal without shchita, that's something which is a Tzaar Baalei Chayim. The Baal Chai doesn't want to die that way. But the Noida B'Yudo is talking about a hunter who's going to the forest, going to the wild and killing chayos tmeos. There, they didn't have that condition that they want to die dafka through shchita. So there, maybe the Noida B'Yudo is right, that there's no Tzaar Baalei Chayim killing the animals this way. A fascinating discussion regarding the concept of hunting. But once again, the Noida B'Yudo himself says, the mitzad midas achzorius, cruelty, it's not roi for Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor Shomach Shova Shiurim, please email shomachshova@gmail.com.